After working Spice in the Kula Lunge on the long reins, I decided to do some in-hand work with him to get him used to being guided and asked to move forward from a position close to his shoulder. This is close as I can replicate to actually being on his back before we put the small rider on his back. So all I'm asking him to do is to be able to step forward on my command. I am also using voice commands, and what I found is that he's actually much easier to get to move forward from the left-hand side versus the right-hand side, which is quite interesting because obviously when I lunge him and long-rein him, I long-rein him from in both directions. So you'll see that he keeps wanting to step onto that right shoulder rather than stepping forward and around me. So he's actually almost stepping in behind me. So I am just trying to get him to move his feet, step off a little bit of pressure, and just step around and away from me, but step around me, not just keep coming onto that right shoulder. He's coming onto that right shoulder, is not going forward, and I want him to go forward. As you can see, he's stepping out a little bit better there, but he's still not in front of, I wouldn't say that's in front of my aids because he's just stepping around on that right shoulder again. So I'm using a little bit of pressure to try and push him forward and away from me, like I would do with my right leg if I was on his back. And then I just keep asking him to move his feet, because at least while he's moving his feet, he's giving me a reaction to my action. If he's completely immobile, then there's no reaction to my action. Okay, that's looking better now. He's starting to step forward with me now versus just coming around on that inside shoulder. And you'll see that I just do some direction changes, and now I've just decided to walk out in front of him to get him to follow me, to ensure that he's with me and following. Because if something's not working one way, it's easier to try something a little bit different and then go back to your original way technique. So the goal for this training session is to get him moving forward freely from me being on either side of him and going straight forward, not this just having to keep stepping him around and changing direction. So this is kind of a long video, but I'm going to leave it as it is without editing it because this is all part of the training process. So feel free to fast forward if you get bored, because you'll see that I do change from leading him a little bit here. Sometimes I'm opening both reins to maintain a contact, trying to get him to move around. Everywhere I'm turning him is what I would do under saddle, is to try and shift the feet to make him move forward. So you shift the feet left. If that doesn't work, you shift the feet right. You just keep turning them. Obviously, if your horse is jibbing in one direction, then you need to make it go in that direction. You're not going to turn it around and go the opposite way, because that's just teaching it bad habits. But in this context, he's not exactly jibbing. He's just not following my aid because he doesn't actually know what I want yet, because this is our first time doing this. So he's getting an understanding of what my requirements are. So my requirement is for him to go forward and straight and move freely when I ask him to. But he has to learn that. As I said, this is the very first time we've done this, so any steps forward is progress as far as I'm concerned. Because when we do get our small rider on him, we want him to be as reactive as possible to the correct aids. And obviously be as safe as possible. Good boy. So staying on the right side, you'll see now I'm finally getting some forward straight steps. This is really big progress. This is not something he was offering me at the beginning of the session. So I'm really, really happy that he's actually gone forward and straight. It wasn't for long, but it did happen.